I don't think 20 years ago there was any such thing as a content creator position. I was already making money out of it, right? And my parents were like, what do you do? What do you do for a living? And I was like...
In this episode, we also have a very fascinating guest. Siu Lim is a dynamic individual with a multifaceted career, a certified Pilates instructor at the Flow Studio, and beyond her fitness expertise, she's also a certified nutritionist, also a dedicated mother of 4. Her talents extend into the digital realm as a prolific content creator as well, where she shares insight on fitness, lifestyle, and more.
A lot of people, parents, friends, family, people who are close to you will always say, it's risky. Anything good takes risks. So if you can mute that out and do what you feel, because we all have our own intuition. If you feel that it's right, it's right. People can tell you all day that it's risky, don't do it, but you are the one that knows where to take off.
What's up, guys? I'm iherng. Can Malaysians turn passion into profits?
How can Malaysians turn their passions into profitable businesses?
Mula-mula minat lah, macam nak try buka bisnes dari kecil, daripada niaga. Sekarang dah boleh buka.
Yes, can. Yeah, because simply because you just turn your dream become a true reality.
Yes, it is possible for it to be a career path, but you need to have a healthy amount of skepticism as well as understanding that things might not go the way you plan it to be.
Sure, why not? Dream can always become a career path, but of course it depends on how you pursue your dreams in order for it to be a career path. Yeah.
I've seen that a lot of people go live on TikTok and they make a lot of money from gifts, particularly singers.
We have a lot of food reviews, and I think once you start reviewing food as a passion, and then people will trust your judgment and will want more content from you, and from there you can make money from the food review.
For whatever passion that you have, you need to have consistency in the work you do, and especially in your posting in social media. You figure out your passion and then you have to put in the work. And if you put in the work, you get the word out there, then sponsors, clients could come, and then you snowball from that. And it will take time. You can't expect overnight success for everyone.
Do you think that it takes a lot of money to create a business?
Dia tengok juga dia punya bisnes. Kalau rasa ramai juga pengunjung, dia akan naik jugalah stock. So rolling dia kena tinggi.
Depends on what type of business you start. You can be start with small, and you can be start with bigger. So it depends.
If it's a traditional brick and mortar business, it is known that it's getting more expensive to actually start it. But if you do try to plan around and do stuff just for example, drop shipping or some business that starts from your home, I do believe it can be quite feasible if you want to start it from a small budget.
Depends on what kind of business you're looking forward to, because right now there's a lot of platforms that you can start with very minimal amount of investment, even couple of hundreds or couple of thousands. So it really depends on which platform you're using. Right now, even social media can turn into business. So I don't think you need a lot of money.
While everyone has their own approaches and experiences, it is clear that with determination, the right strategy, and a little bit of creativity, dreams can indeed become reality. Stay tuned for more insights and expert advice.
Miss Siu, who is running her own business as well, a Pilates studio, also running content on the site. Or not the site, I'm not too sure. But we will ask more about it. Can me? I think, what do you think of the video?
Can. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Pilates instructor. That was my passion. Started a business out of it. I love taking pictures. I love doing content work. Started a business, and here I am today.
I have a separate take on those videos though. At the second or third video, I forgot, how much did they pay you to forgo your dream? There was a...
See, that's where...
Because unfortunately, right, when you get to a deadline, there will be survival in place to be discussed. I guess that's the fine line on whether can your dream still be dream to...
Here's the thing that I feel that people make a mistake on when they turn their dreams into a business. Your dream might not make you filthy rich. Okay, you turn into a business, you have to think that your dream was there as a passion to help. I didn't think I would turn it into a business, Pilates, for example. I did it as a passion. I did it because, for those who don't know what Pilates is, it's to strengthen your core, give you a lot of flexibility. When I was doing Pilates, I just loved the way it made me feel. It was something that money couldn't buy. I did it because it made me feel so good. And because it made me feel so good, I wanted to share that experience with everyone. So because of that, I wanted to turn that into a business because I wasn't looking for the profit or anything. I was looking to make others feel good. Same thing with content creation. I did it because...
Let me just hold you right there and welcome, guys. You just keep talking. And today, I think, guys, that will be a great turn into the topic for today. Can passion be really turned into business? And just like for your content creation, like parents, if you think, imagine like just 5 years ago, our children would do, Mommy, I would like to make money by creating videos online. Well, my mom would slap me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck are you doing?
Yeah.
Find a real job.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think 20 years ago there was any such thing as a content creator position. I mean, my parents asked me when I was getting into it, I was already making money out of it, right? And my parents were like, what do you do? What do you do for a living?
Yeah.
And I was like, it was such a hard thing to explain to them because I was like, I take pictures. Because at that time, there was no Reels. There was no TikTok. And I was like, I take pictures. What? What kind of pictures? So they would actually watch me, what I do.
Yeah.
And they would just be like...
But was it a money-making thing only it became a business? Or was it a passion first?
It was a passion because I wanted to learn. I like pretty things.
Okay.
So, on Instagram, it was all about, making things look pretty. At that time, it was about flat lays, right? So I was like so fascinated about like how, something can turn into such a, it's an art thing. So I really enjoyed, taking the pictures. I really enjoyed, involving my kids in it. But then sooner or later, I learned that you can make money off of it. One post was 100 ringgit, and the next one it would be like 500, and then suddenly it went into the thousands and sometimes even 5-figure income.
Okay.
I turned it into business because at that time I didn't really look at the money. I looked at it as it was something to do with the kids, teach them stuff about it.
I think that's the part where, because you didn't start from scratch.
No, I didn't start from scratch.
So I guess for folks who wants to start from scratch, like what would your suggestion be? Like today, what would be a reserve amount of money to be kept aside before I want to pursue content creation as a business?
So that goes to the second question. Do you need money?
Yeah.
Like, for example, as a content creator, do you need money for that? No, I didn't. I didn't. I started off as a single mom when I was as a content creator. I had no money. I had 4 kids I had to feed, and that's all I saw. When I did this, I didn't have any money. I didn't start off with any money. I didn't. I had whatever, for example, if you want to do makeup, right? You just whatever you have. Because you use it every day. Being a content creator doesn't mean that you have to go all out. It means that on your everyday, life, you use little snippets of that. And
But I see the pattern of what you just did, right? I think youngsters could have picked this up a lot. You are more of documenting, being very resourceful with what you have and showcase to the world. I guess there's a separate genre where they are producing for the world.
Yeah.
So somewhat you need costs, somewhat you will need fancy camera works, fancy editing works.
Maybe
that's where
a phone that can work.
Yeah. So
being a content creator, it's not really about it's about your passion. When you share your passion online, people can feel it. People can see it. And that's all it takes. It doesn't take a fancy. There are some content creators that didn't start off with an iPhone 15 Pro Max, for example.
Yeah.
They started off with whatever they had, and they just got into it. And their mind and creativity and they're that's what worked for them. And it's the same with every business. Pilates didn't start off as something that I wanted to, yes, it paid the bills, but to make a profit out of it, I don't know. I didn't know at that time. I wanted to do it because I wanted to make people feel good, and that's what kept the drive. It wasn't all that, but
which
of
one
course,
started first? Like content started first or Pilates?
I wouldn't say it came
Together? Wow.
Yeah, and it's a lot of hard work, both ends.
But really, don't need money, meh? Like, okay, to me, I'm a real estate guy, right?
Okay.
3 + 1 deposit.
Okay.
Where did that come from? Yeah, so like.
Where did it come from? Like, for you? What?
Yeah.
How did?
No, because like you need to rent a space.
You need to rent a space.
Yeah, so I think that was the main concern. Like a lot of people would think like to start a business, at the gentleman there said brick and mortars, like Pilates, the equipment itself. I think those needs capital, right? So did you use any financing? Was it pharma foundations?
For content creating, no. And Pilates, I just okay. I admit Pilates, I had to get a license. That was pretty pricey. To get a license
to operate or license to teach?
License to teach.
Okay,
you
cool.
need to be certified. Yes, that required me to have a, I think it was at that time, about 10 years ago, it cost me maybe 50,000 to get that cert, because, that's including all the travel expenses and all. And yes, but here's the thing. Again, that came from passion. Because I wanted it so bad, I found the money. The way I found the money, again, as a single mom, I worked. I had a job as a teacher. I worked extra hours. I worked. It didn't come out from nowhere. And then, every now and again, I'd ask my parents maybe to lend me some money. But you can only ask for so much, right? Yeah. So my
and
parents,
they see your phone, they don't want to pick up.
they started with zero.
Yeah.
With zero. And that's why when people say, can you start a business without money? I feel I can, because all it takes is a lot of work, persistence, determination.
Yeah.
You'll end up finding, and here's another thing, is that people, again, I mentioned people feel it. I have an 18-year-old son who is now, into all sorts of things, all sorts of businesses. And that all started because, I didn't, again, single mom. I don't have funds to give him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have family to ask. He found ways. He had passion, and people saw that in him. And they're like, I don't want to invest in whatever you do. I want to invest in you, So, yeah,
Yep. So when you did your Pilates business, I think a lot of people start from the passion, correct? But it's always from an operational point of view.
Okay, yeah.
Right? I can teach, right? But will there be a point that suddenly you expand into a bigger role in management, where
Most definitely,
where HR comes into play,
You have to,
finance?
yeah.
So how did you learn?
Yeah. Well, you have to keep growing, right? I'm a type of person that continuously grows. I refuse to put myself in just the same position, because it's a big world out there. You can always grow. When I, got just being a Pilates instructor, I found there was always ways to step up. Whether, like you said, management, there were always new instructors that wanted to be taught things. And because of your passion for the business, they felt your passion. So they wanted to go with you. They wanted to learn from you. Yeah. Then you make money off of that.
Cool. But sideways a little bit, right? At those moments, junctions of time, there will be a lot of people around you trying to give you advice, right? Maybe you can share like what's the worst form of financial advice that you get in running a business? Oh,
a lot of people, parents, friends, family, people who are close to you will always say it's risky. This is the main thing that scared me and put me off in the first. I want to say I probably could have done it a lot faster if people didn't tell me it's too risky. Because if you can kind of mute that out, because honestly, anything good takes risks. So if you can mute that out and do what you feel, because we all have our own intuition. If you feel that it's right, it's right. There's people can tell you all day that it's risky, don't do it, but you are the one that knows what where to take off.
Example, if your son were to start a business, but as an experienced business owner, you know it's gone case, Malaysian way of saying it, right? It wouldn't work. But what would your approach be then to let him go and feel it, or?
Yes. So I have a situation where he asked me for like a few thousand US dollars to invest in, stocks and bonds.
What?
Yeah. I have a very unique 18-year-old. Did I believe in what he was investing in? Not really. But I believed in him. So because of that, I gave him not what he wanted, but I gave him a percentage of what he wanted, knowing that he might fail. There was a big percentage that he might fail. But as a parent, you're not really there to always protect your child. Who am I to say, no, this is not good. It's not right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, the people that surrounding me, when they saw me do Pilates, they were like, why do you want to do such empty things? Why do you want to do that? 20 years down the line, Pilates in Malaysia completely blew up, asking what is this? So when my son asked me for money to invest in stocks and bonds, I was like, don't know. But because I needed to teach him a lesson, so teaching your children lessons doesn't mean, put money in, take them to college. It doesn't always mean that. It also means that if they want to venture off into something, even if you don't believe in it, but you hopefully believe in your own child, you will do something that meets in the middle.
Okay.
And that's what I did. And guess what? The investment did well. And then I went, I should have invested more.
But then, like, coming back to your own business, right? Like, what, for example, you have a younger version who is inspired, younger version lady who is inspired by you. Oh, I want to start a studio too, right?
Right.
But now, because I'm super practical with money.
You're so opposite of me.
Yeah. So, like, can passion be turned into business? Without money, yes, but with money it's easier. Right?
Oh yeah, definitely easier. But a lot of us don't have that privilege. Yeah.
But so I always advise people to save up. So I think somewhat a lot of second opportunities means that I was in the first job, it didn't do well. I was dead, right, inside. Then only I found something else that I wanted to do. Then only the passion got real. So if an audience listening to this, right, what would be a safe amount to be in a bank before you want to start a studio, for example? Like just now you said, to get a license itself about 50,000. How long did it take to be?
See, again, I want to tell you guys that I believe that I am a hard worker. So that 50,000 was easily came back within less than a year.
No, I mean to get a license.
To get the license, how long? Oh wow, that's another story. Like 3 years. Yeah, a lot of traveling time and stuff because at that time Malaysia didn't have mentors around. So
So like 3 years, because money is beyond numbers, is also time. I think resource. So 3 years to start a Pilates. So like in terms of studio space, is there a preferred location or you just got into it? Haha, this one will be the studio.
Location.
This is
I admit it's everything. It plays a role in a lot of things. Regardless, you're buying a house to rent, to own, to live in. And it also means like this for a business, for a studio. Location is a prime thing.
Yep.
We had to do the market research to see who would actually pay 80 ringgit for a class, who has the funds,
Yep.
You have to do a lot of research before you do these things. You don't just randomly open up in a place and then just be like, okay, like let's just try it out, because that's a lot of money that you're going to put in there. What I do know is, and what I've been taught in the past was always to start off small. Start off small, have less expenses, see how it goes, gauge it first, and then you can see what the market wants. Don't start off big and then just be like, let's just cross it, hope, wish the best of luck kind of thing. That to me, yes, it's risky. To me, is it risky or is it being silly, you know? I don't know, but yeah, like, you know, it's...
So the second question, like that is for fresh grad, so you need like 3 years, really look into locations, think about the target audiences and things like that. If a instructor who's struggling in her Pilates studio right now, is there any tips that you can share on better management or how to attract or to at least turn around?
I want to say nowadays when people open up a business, they actually don't know they got to get into social media. Agreed or not?
I've
Don't know. I mean, your business, you have to get into social media in any business, whether they like it or not. Whether you're running a business, whether you're running a studio of any kind, whether you are, you know, open a coffee store, what a F&B. You have to tap into the social media market. If you are not, that's part of marketing.
Yep.
So if you're not tapping into that part, because everyone's on social media, if you're not tapping into it, you can go from there.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have look at your expenses, see how much your expenses are, see, you know, if
What's the costliest thing or the highest cost item in a Pilates studio?
Definitely the machines. Definitely the machines. Yeah, I mean, the prices are different now, but I remember that each machine would be like about 15 grand per
Ringgit?
machine. Yeah, per machine.
That thing is 15 grand?
Yeah. It helps your spine, man.
No, it looks like wood to me. You know? I'm kidding. You know, all the haters are, hey, sure. Wow. And you started off with one or you started with many?
One, like I said.
Start small.
Start small. See how it goes. And then Flow, I remember, had 6 machines. And then for like a year, I think like 2 or 3 people would show up per class.
Yep.
But you just have to, again, persistence, keep going, and keep believing. Again, the power of believing in yourself is actually such a wonderful thing. You know, you it's hard though, because you have to, you know, showing up to class and 2, 3 people. Okay, let's just do it.
It gets worse, and you look into the
and
balance
then you're
sheet.
just like, and then the expenses, and you're like, oh my gosh, so stressful. But then over time, again, we've tapped into the social media. At Flow, they tapped into the social media. They got, you know, they did the whole like doing at that time. Showing KOLs what Pilates was, because again, even KOLs didn't know what it was. So went through social media, and then eventually it kicked off.
Yep.
So I also believe in building a community too. You know, even in social media, we're building a community. We're, you know, what kind of community do you want? Do you want, you know, like we were into fitness, so everyone wants to be fit. Everyone wants to get rid of their lower back pain. Yeah.
One last. Why all the questions from me all very practical? Okay. A very real question. Like when you start, was there a limit to loss? Means that if I don't achieve this, I know believing is very important.
But you have that little...
But money is still real. Was there a time, like, was there a decision to, okay, by this month, if I still couldn't cross this line, that's it? Was there such a moment for you?
I actually don't think so. I think the hardest time was COVID time.
Okay.
We were on lockdown. We had to figure out how are we still going to make money when people don't show up at the studios. So at that time, I remember we rented out the machines to people to bring to home. And that was very risky because...
They could have damaged it.
Yeah, they could have damaged it. And also, like, you know, or they could have never brought it back. You know, so many risks. But again, you had to do it because that's what kept the company at that time running.
Yeah.
And then online streaming and things like this. But because of that, I want to say that we really we powered through that. When we powered through that, we came out stronger. Honestly, yeah.
Cool.
You know, it's one of those. There was no what if. Honestly, there was no what if. It's going to happen. It's gonna do well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
Very inspirational because you start with the end in mind, and I think like you keep believing that you won't fail, but sometimes we think too far. We prepare for the fall, we are so prepared for the fall. Like, okay, by this time, if we don't end, we just...
I mean, definitely you always need a plan B. A plan B with everything. But my plan B was never to quit. That was the thing. There is no plan B to be like, okay, you know what? It's just going to be over. The most was, okay, if this doesn't work, let's go and, take another route, but in the same area.
Would you go for a loan just to give yourself another chance?
That is a tough question.
Because okay.
Depends on the strategy.
Yeah.
If you have another strategy and, you really believed in this new strategy, why not?
Because I think the cost of mistake will be different. Like now, if I close today, I lose my savings, that's all. But if I were to take a financing loan to extend the lifespan, to somewhat catch the wave.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But if it still doesn't work, I'm in debt. So the cost of mistake then becomes different. So
that would be another story for me. I've known a lot of businesses who continuously took out money, but they didn't change their strategy, you see.
Yeah.
It's all how you play the game. They continued on doing the same exact thing. The only difference was they took out loans. So if you want to take out a loan, of course, I believe it could work, but you have to change your strategy when it comes to businesses. There's something that you always, you have to find your weakness. You have to find how else you can do it. Maybe hire a new team and things. I don't know.
Would you advise young ladies to take out business loans to start up studios?
If they, that's a tough one, too, because I didn't do that.
Yeah,
I didn't do that because I had people who want to invest in me.
Yeah.
So I didn't do that. But would I advise that? I don't know. That's a tough one.
But it's a more of a personal.
It's a personal thing.
You're betting on a jockey instead of the horse, right?
Yeah, right.
So you really people see things in you.
Yeah.
Not the business as per se.
Yeah.
Tough one.
Yeah.
I believe behind the glamorous business facade and all, there will be struggle points, and I'm glad that you shared.
Yeah, I mean, I think in one of the videos, I forgot what it mentioned. It mentioned about, what if you were struggling? What if you were struggling? End of the day is you will struggle.
Yeah.
You will find a lot of hardship. But again, that is part of owning a business. That's a part of having that personality. Just again, keep going, pursue.
So what I learned today is you are betting a lot on yourself, meaning turning your passion and what better things to invest on but your passion.
Correct.
And then you start very small. Although your dream is big.
Yeah.
But you start with one.
Always dream big.
Yeah, but you start with one, right? Yeah. And at tough times also, you implement strategies. But the only difference here is that I would encourage, so the blur point that we kind of couldn't agree on, was it a good thing to take loans or financing just to extend the business a little bit because of interest rates. So how long you want to bet on yourself?
Yeah.
Is there a deadline on betting yourself?
Yeah, I forgot to ask you, what do you think? What would you?
Almost the same answer as yours. If we were to take the loan,
it's a tough one. Yeah.
Yeah. What we did brought us here. That's why we need a loan. When a loan comes in, we need to do something different, right? And are we okay to get back to work? And I think that's also a learning point where, if you fail at 38 or 42, right, you can always go back to get a job.
Yeah.
And a lot of people then cannot take that hit. Why are you a senior executive or we call it 猪仔, a very small konjo, then at 42 in a company?
Yeah.
She failed her business. That's why she's back here with us.
Yeah. We have to learn also that there's no such thing as failure. And also the fact that ego, right, failing at 42 and then going back to a normal job, there's nothing wrong with that. Because for those who, I know some that fail, quote unquote, fail in their 40s and they don't want to go back to work. I mean, you have bills to pay. There's nothing wrong with going back to work. Don't let your ego get in the way. Always.
It was for you.
Yeah.
Right.
And
do it for
possibly
you.
Your family and everything. Yeah. So
after you invest in your equipments and things like that, right? Just curious, do you have a money person in your business, or it's all you?
No, definitely not all me. You definitely need a team, and you definitely need someone who financially advises you for these things. Yeah.
Because
Accountant, whatnot.
for a business to work, there's always a dream guy who feels the whole business, and there will be a person that it's the weights.
Yep. Yep.
That's
The one
opposite.
that kind of hit, I want to say the one that's like, dreams big, and then the other one that's like, okay, this is actually the real story.
Yep.
To make the other person come down. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I definitely think owning a business, it doesn't require just one person. Yeah.
Okay, so you do have a money person in place to really, and just curious, like, do you know how long your business will stay afloat if things are constant and things like that? So for example, if you have 0 new recruits from today onwards, do you know how long your business will sustain?
How long the business will sustain?
Like how many months more? So
Like
in
today?
So like business terms, we call it the runway. Because I realize your business is, the cost is only upfront capital, equipment and things like that. When you hire, like, there's less ingredients or materials involved in the business. So you don't have to really procure a lot of things. And I guess that's the reason why it will be. And so I'm very curious about how the money person controls you too.
There's a list of things you can and cannot do that he or she gives me.
Oh.
You cannot buy one more machine. We don't have enough funds because things like this, little things like this to keep you in check. Because like I said, I'm the one that dreams big, and then you need the other person that's like, okay, hold on. There's some things you can and cannot do. You can't do this, but I'll give you an alternative. Right? And yeah.
Because like now I think there's 2 roles here. I would be like your money guy. So unless we have 6 more students, we can get 1 more machine. And only with that 1 more machine, we can recruit more and things like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to that struggling point, like the decision to take business loan. So let's say for a new person coming into the industry, 0 experience with a business loan. You mentioned digital marketing. You mentioned social media. Was it paid, or was it? Is there a paid version of the business, or is it all purely organic on your side?
At the beginning, it was organic. Some again, you try to find a balance, like, depending on how well the business was doing at that time. Then you kind of monetize. Sometimes you monetize from some things. Sometimes you gauge and say, oh no, we need to, we need to pay for this or get paid for that.
Yeah.
You gauge. Yeah, that's the money, guys.
That's the money. So that's the money guys part. Because to me, I will run because a lot of people would prefer a paid version of digital marketing.
Yes, we all do. Yeah,
because
definitely.
it's more predictable.
Yeah.
I put in X amount of money, I will know I will reach this amount of people, and the variables is the creative on whether does it resonate with them. So they will turn up to the studios. Then do you all run marketing promotions as well?
No, it was just honestly, it was just word of mouth. A lot of word of mouth. A lot of again, trying to get Google on our side. When people research, looking for a yoga Pilates studio. It was a lot of word of mouth at the beginning. Yeah, no, towards the end actually. At the beginning, it was a lot of it was a little bit of digital.
Okay. So, like, in your opinion, is there a lot of Pilates studios right now in the market?
They're definitely mushrooming. Definitely in the past 6 months, throughout this year, there's been a lot more coming up. Yeah.
And would you then advise newcomers to start a Pilates studio? If today lah, so like today, if they are listening, I've been.
Why not? Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, because there's always that one person, or some people like it traditional way, and there's always that one person that likes it. Okay, I'm gonna try it this way, and see if that works. I'm gonna try it my own way.
Is there freelancers on instructors? Freelancing
Yes,
instructors?
most of them.
Most of them.
Like a large percentage of them work as freelancers.
Oh, so instead they go. So where do they train then? Is it on a studio or is it on a venue? Where do they train?
There's a few licenses in Malaysia. One of them being Flow, and then another one called Stats. So there's about 3 or 4. So the individual gets to choose which license they want. They want global, and they want international. Like it's again, it's a personal decision where they want to get their license from.
Okay. Wow, my money thoughts keeps flowing. So I'm just like thinking, in case someone wants to, hey Sean, you got spare cash? I want to start a Pilates studio. So me now being like the financier, I'm really thinking through and I guess that will be the difference between both of us right now, right? Because you had all your money, you had investors, you know what you're doing. You don't have to answer to anybody. But if you're a
Investors.
yeah. So for those investors, is there an obligation to give them returns or
Yes.
dividend? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I definitely they have to know that where they put their money is somewhere safe and profitable.
Yep. Interesting. So my key takeaway from this conversation, right? I think I like how you are very big dreamer. I couldn't because of all the bills and interest rates and things like that.
Right.
I couldn't, but you did anyways. And I guess because of that, you attracted a group of people who believed in you,
Right.
put money in you.
Yeah.
And it's a better format of financing compared to a bank. Right? Banks got no emotions. You're late.
Yeah.
Right. And I like how you start very, very small, be very, very practical with things, so you don't overgear. So in business terms, we call that runway. So it's like how long more if you were to continue doing this. Every month you do this, we was negative. So how long more can you negative into
What do
your
you
account?
think the average runway is, though?
No, it depends on how deep your
Oh,
pocket
okay.
is. Yeah, so in my opinion, I think a lot of folks who start fitness studios have heavy backing,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So they can operate first class locations, right? To me, I see, wow, 1 month rental is about 12,000. To start the business, you need about 50 already, plus equipment's 15, plus your utilities, plus licensing is easily 100,000.
Easy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, easy. So I really hope, I don't want to crush everyone's dream. Like, I want to be an instructor, but Sean said need to have 100,000. Go back to work. But it's better that maybe you have 50, maybe you have 30. Explore the financing portion of things.
Right.
Because time is essence. It's now, in this circumstance, that you can start a business, or the market is good now, grab it. Use financing to kind of help it. I think that's a big learning curve.
I'll be honest with you. Even if I had the money to start up another studio or another business, I personally don't really use my own cash, hardworking cash. It's a personal choice.
Yep.
I felt that, I don't know why. I think it's the pressure of, I earned that, with my own, like, hardworking hours. I always like having the investor or
Correct. So I guess that's one misconception, very big misconception.
Yeah.
I start business, use my own money.
Yeah,
I got no money, let's not start a business.
correct.
Right? So there will be formats where you have an idea, there will be financiers.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to listen to them as much, a percentage of it will do, you need to have a certain savings, right? If you want to go start your own business, 100% self-finance, you can do basically whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You want close shop, open
Yes.
shop, open shop. So I guess that's the learnings that I've gotten today. There will be so many facilities involved in terms of financing, in terms of consultation and things
Right.
like that. Until now, like, can a dream be a business? I think yes and no, but there's a way to do it without money. There's banks, right?
Right.
There's pharma foundations, there's friends and families, there's investors. But I will always choose banks because I don't have to report to them, because friends and family, because you take my money, then you must listen to me.
It's a pure business transaction,
Yeah.
So you don't have anyone telling you what to do. Agree. But yeah, in my opinion, can you turn a passion into a business? Most definitely.
Yeah.
Just have to get ready for the hard work.
I guess that wraps up today's discussion about whether you can turn your idea or your passion into a business or not. Bear in mind, when you start a business, financing is part of it, operational is part of it, marketing is part of it. I'm making things complicated. But you gotta really learn, and hopefully the stories from these guests inspired you. Thank you for joining us on Impian, Gigih, Celik, Kewangan by GX Bank. For more financial tips, do follow GX Bank, and I will see you guys again.